Trauma isn't a memory, it's a ghost. It haunts every decision, poisons every relationship. For 2 seasons, we've watched Chris Smith try to outrun the ghost of his brother Keith. And in the final soul-shattering moments of Like a Keith in the Night, his new family, the 11th Street Kids, cornered that ghost and tried to end it right in front of him. What we just witnessed wasn't just the penultimate episode of a season. It was honestly a perfectly engineered tragedy. Modern tragedy. It's a world where Chris could find a version of the family he lost, only to have his real family be the ones to burn it to the ground. If you want to understand how this series just used an alternate dimension to stage a devastating psychological breakdown and deliver a career-defining performance from John Cena, stick around. We're dissecting a perfect episode of television. What's up, my know-it-alls? That ending. Oh, the team attacking Keith, Chris's scream. I think I'm still recovering. Like a Keith in the Night was not just an episode of television. It was an emotional gauntlet. I knew the Earth X storyline was going to be dark, but I was so not prepared for this level of honestly Shakespearean tragedy. This episode subverted every expectation I had. It was anchored by a performance from John Cena that deserves to be in the awards conversation, period. Full stop. We're going to go deep, okay? We're going to break down the tragic irony of Earth X, Auggie, the brilliant and unexpected MVP turn from Judomaster, and of course, the soul-crushing final scene that really paid off, I would argue, 2 seasons of trauma in one of the most brutal ways imaginable. I need to know what hit you harder, seriously. Tell me in the comments below, was it Vigilante's shocking ending of the good Auggie? Or was it the team's collective beatdown of Keith? Let's talk about it. So picking up in the run Earth X, the team is scattered. Peacemaker and Harcourt, they fight their way out of Orgus while the 2 vigilantes bond over not being racist and ultimately team up to find Adebayo. The heart of the episode, however, is the B plot. Adebayo, hunted by local supremacists, is rescued by none other than Judomaster.
Come on, hurry up. Zippity zap.
Bro, their scenes bonding over a game of Scrabble, and he's having Cheetos with an H at the end. Yeah. These are some pretty fantastic mix of humor and genuine character work, and I'm telling you, it's the thing that has made this season so amazing from the very beginning. It's what I've been trying to tell everybody. Things are not done for things' sake. And like people were I keep going back, people were in the beginning like, it's so gratuitous. Do we need this and this? Yes. Yes. I would argue having every bit of all of that is what made this episode hit the way it hit. Being able to see in stark contrast the guy Chris was trying to be, the person he tried to go back to being, and then ultimately the person he tried to run away and become. That's the journey that we just witnessed. I don't know if you're ready for that conversation. I really don't. The main thrust is this really devastating twist, obviously. Earth X Auggie, I want to say isn't a monster, but a lot of folks are like, well, if it's just because there's been discourse going on already. People are like, well, if it's just this other thing or that other thing, how could you ever, think it's good or bad or whatever? Like all these questions about it being whatever it's supposed to be. And I'm like, I don't know that I see it that way. He's a decent man, horrified, and he's trying to protect his son, Keith. Chris gets a glimpse of the family that he could have had. It all comes crashing down in the really chaotic reunion at the mansion. So the 2 vigilantes, they meet up with Adebayo, who's after she'd hung out and whatnot, and they see what appears to be White Dragon all suited up and whatnot, and he seems to be standing in front of them talking. He's giving one of the best speeches ever.
I applaud you if your world is perfect and you fight every injustice you ever see. Unfortunately, I haven't got the strength for that. I fight the madman murderers and monsters in front of me because that's all I can control.
Okay? The best speech ever. I mean, like, my man's literally, this speech sounds like the kind of thing that David the Corn Sweat was giving at the end of Superman. Like, legit. Okay? And so what does Vigilante do? Of course, he jumps on him because he's protecting his homeboy. And he ends him, which sends Keith into a rage, which ultimately leads to a brawl where the entire... It's so wonderfully and beautifully tragic the way it's been woven together that I am very much stunned by how good James Gunn is at doing this, the thing that we know he does, and he's doing it amazing. But essentially the team brutally jumps on him to save Chris. They jump on him, gang up on him, in essence recreating Chris's core trauma. And I mean, I would argue it caused him a complete psychological collapse. Yeah. All right, so let's put everything else aside for a second and talk about John Cena. This is John Cena's moment. It wasn't just that final scream. It was the entire episode. The flicker of hope when he saw a decent Auggie, the brotherly connection he had tried to forge with Keith, the tender moments on the peace cycle with Harcourt, which I love that. Oh, and very James Gunn style, juxtaposed with the police chasing them. He let us see Chris trying to build something. And then the breakdown. When he watches his friends become monsters to save him, it validates his deepest fear. He's poison. He's toxic. The way he screams isn't rage. It's not rage. That's the part that people aren't understanding. It's grief. He's not just seeing Keith, he's seeing his brother, he's seeing his dad, he's seeing every person that he has ever hurt. It's a visceral, it's vulnerable, and absolutely a flawless performance. I think the sheer narrative genius here, honestly, has got to be the subversion. You know, we went to world expecting to find the ultimate evil. And instead, the ultimate evil was what the 11th Street kids brought with them. The tragedy isn't that Auggie was a Nazi. It's that this Auggie wasn't. And he died anyway because of their baggage. There was an episode of Torchwood years ago. Torchwood was that spin-off Doctor Who show called Countryside, spelled C-I-D-E. And in it, the team uncovers this horrific. There's like it's like a charnel house. It's terrible. Okay, it's terrible. It's very, very people. The hills have eyes. People under the stairs. That kind of thing. Only to uncover at the very, very end, human beings were the problem, not aliens or monsters. So this taps into sort of that same place, and I really dug it. Chris's horrified, quiet line amidst the chaos.
I don't think he was a Nazi.
It's the thematic linchpin of the entire season. It's the moment he realizes his team, in their righteous fury, they committed an atrocity. They killed a good man and almost murdered his grieving son. I love the fact, don't get me wrong, that defining moment when Harcourt is about to clean up and she says,
sorry, can't have you coming after him.
She didn't say us. She said him, because she's trying to protect him. On the Peacemaker podcast, James Gunn confirms that exact fact, actually. And it's like, yeah, man, it's unreal. It's unbelievable, you know. But really, for me, the unspoken and unlikely MVPs is got to be the Judomaster and Adebayo show. All right, in an episode this heavy, you need a pressure valve, like a little release, and the show delivered one of the best pairings of the series. Judomaster and Adebayo, from electrocuting Nazi crock wearers to bonding over snack foods and relationship advice. It was perfect. It really was. No, seriously. More than just comedy, though, it really did serve for me the purpose of it was a break. It was a break. You got to breathe. You got to go, okay, I'm good. It was a breath. It really was. Okay. And then Adebayo's metaphor, when she's using Hanoi rocks to explain that Peacemaker is an acquired taste. She goes, you have to look past the cheesiness to find the good. It's probably one of the most insightful bits of writing in the show, at least for Adebayo's character. It's one of those, you sit here and you go, oh, okay. And she's like, and that's my best friend. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. It beautifully defines our hero while at the same time, let's be fair, it simultaneously brings sort of that greatest antagonist into the fold. But there you go. Now you know. And if knowing's half the battle, you are halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. This episode had everything. It had wall-to-wall action, genuinely hilarious character moments, some deep cut DC lore with Harperson and the stable portal and the thematic gut punch that kind of recontextualizes the entire show. Oh yeah. It's a penultimate episode that doesn't just set up the finale, it delivers a really powerful, self-contained tragedy. It dared to give its hero a glimpse of peace and then had his own friends be the ones to rip it away. Flawless. Chef's kiss. All right. It's a perfect blend of every single thing that makes Peacemaker one of the best shows on television, all elevated by a lead performance that honestly, I believe will be remembered for years. All right. So for its brilliant subversion of expectations, its masterful character work, and for being the stage for a truly legendary performance, you know, where does like a Keith in the Night land on the Know-It-All Index? Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's perfect. It's undeniable. No questions asked. It's a 10 out of 10. This is the episode that proves Peacemaker isn't just a great comic book show, it's great television. Full stop. A modern masterpiece of action comedy and some pretty devastating drama. But again, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Comment below. Tell me what it is. Am I crazy or do you agree? Was this a career-making performance for John Cena? I'd love to discuss this further and dig deeper with it. I can't wait for next week. Next week's going to be an amazing episode, and hopefully you'll be here with me to watch it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next week. Never forget, everyone loves to know it all. Bye, guys.